Okay, welcome to a vintage challenge. And during this week I had a thought and I said, all right, all these Saga lovers, but they keep putting Saga in decks where it's not actually giving them an additional, avenue to victory. It's just repeating on weaknesses. What deck needs a non-graveyard avenue to victory? Boom, Underworld Breach. So now, if my opponent brings in Leyline of the Void, I actually can still win the game. back when people were playing a lot of Breach, you just brought in Leyline of the Void and their deck just could never win. Just never ever win. So this is a take on Underworld Breach with Sagas. Another cool interaction is you now have Dragon's Rage Channeler, which I think is pretty decent in these Breach shells. Unfortunately, it does compound on your graveyard usage, not like graveyard vulnerability. It helps in your graveyard usage, but compounds on graveyard vulnerability. But it does have some cool things like with Predict, where you can actually generate some serious card advantage here with your instant speed Predict using the Dragon Rage Channeler's Surveil ability. Very sweet, very sweet. You also have a Sensei Stop in this list, so you do have a couple avenues to do Predict things, which I think is pretty dope. And then the rest of this is just a blue-red Breach shell. I don't know if you can play black. Maybe you should just be playing like one Underground Sea for Demonic Tutor. I could totally see that being correct. I didn't end up doing that, but I definitely think you probably could if you really wanted to. I just decided that I didn't want another land that didn't cast Dragon's Rage Channeler, but maybe that's not actually a concern. I do think that all Breach decks should have one Hurkyl's Recall in the main, so that they can do the same thing what Pio does against Golo shops, where they just end of turn throw all of the spheres back and then kill their opponent. And then yeah, still playing Tinker because I'm trying to make sure I'm trying to use this like Moxen shell to like play Tinker and Predict off of like off color plus blue. It also lets you have Tinker Sphinx, which I think is kind of important in the metagame. It really lets your unfair decks beat Bug pretty easily, which is really nice because people who play Bug still just don't care about having an answer for Sphinx. So as long as they don't care, just keep farming them. All right, let's get round one going. I saw that we have a powerful opponent. We've got Doomsday Aficionado Max here. Let's see what we can do here. That looks reasonable, though this Hurkyl's will probably be dead. We are on 2 Breach 1 freeze, so we have to remember that if we exile our freeze, we do have to win with Saga, but I think that's okay. I think if you're like an all-in Breach deck, you're probably playing 3 Breach 2 freeze. But because we have so many Sagas in our deck as additional ways to win the game, it's probably fine to just be on the 2-in-1 split instead of the 3-in-2 split. Oh man, I don't know. I did something to my shoulder. I have no idea what happened. Went and saw Shakespeare in the Park last night. That was pretty dope. I haven't done that since I've moved here, actually. That's supposed to happen every year, and I just haven't really been doing it. But it was nice. It's a good change of pace. All right, so this probe just got immediately mental misstepped. Don't exactly know what that means, but okay. So this is interesting. So we're going to assume that our opponent is on Doomsday. We're going to hold open Pyroblast, and then we're going to hold open Predict. And what we're going to do is we'll draw Predict now, and then we'll draw Misty Rainforest. Or I guess we could draw Misty Rainforest, then we'll draw Predict, and then we'll mill away Dak Faden. Probably makes the most sense. Dak, Predict, Misty, done. It's because I don't have a Force of Will to pitch to pitch a blue spell to anyways. So if like they probe me, I don't want them to know that I have Predict. Well, this is like a deck where Saga actually makes sense to me because Saga facilitates both your main game plan in it tutors for Black Lotus and casts like, Citadel and Breach. And it also gives you a secondary game plan of being based around artifact aggro. or artifact controlling, and you can actually use the artifact thing because your opponents are not bringing in a bunch of artifact hate for you. So I actually think it makes a lot of sense in this deck in comparison to things like PO, where you're just making your deck weaker. I don't think like Saga's a bad card. Saga in a vacuum is not a bad card. I just think the ways people have been building Saga have been bad. So is my opponent just killing me on turn 1? What's happening here? I mean, I'm supposed to counter this, right? Oh no, not Doomsday. Not losing on turn 1. No one could have seen this coming. Oh, well. They draw Ancestral, they then play Underground Sea, Dark Ritual, Doomsday, Preordain. Kill me, I assume? Time Walk. It's not good either. Okay, so they missed on a land drop after resolving Ancestral, Street Wraith, Gataxian Probe. And they didn't have Dark Ritual Doomsday. I don't exactly know what that means. And maybe their hand is full of Flusterstorms and Force of Wills. Like, that's the only thing that can possibly mean, right? Oh. End step Consult. I would have much rather my opponent end stepped a Vamp Tutor, because then I could predict it away. I wonder if I'm supposed to... They got a Dark Ritual. Okay, I don't think I was supposed to predict right now. If my opponent gets a Dark Ritual, it means that they don't have another... we know they don't have another land to follow up with. So it means they're just going to play a Doom... Wait, what? Why didn't they play a land last turn? Oh, sorry, they drew a land. They top decked a land. They top decked a land. They milled or they exiled a Thassa's Oracle. Okay, so they top decked a land, which is really, really bad for me. It's like the absolute worst for me here. I think I'm supposed to let Doomsday resolve and then predict them and name like Ancestral or Gush or something. I think that's the plan. Yeah. I mean, they know that 2 of my 3 cards are not counter spells. So I guess we'll see if they put Ancestral back, or if they don't put Ancestral back, then they probably have a Gush. I don't know. Doomsday is pretty unbeatable, so what are we gonna do? Yo, Argon, thanks for the host with the 79 viewers. I hope you had a good stream. So they are going Ancestral, which makes me think they have either a Gush or their Street Wraith in their hand. There's only 1 Street Wraith left in their deck, so 1 Gush or 1 Street Wraith. If they have a Fluster, we just lose. If they have a Force, we just lose. But we don't have nothing here, which is nice. Okay, they chose not to do anything, which means they probably have a Fluster. Am I supposed to predict and get it flustered? So I could fetch away the Dagfaden, top deck a land, and then I can predict targeting them on Ancestral. Because I know they put Ancestral in their pile. I guess I should look at how many forces. 1, 2... There's still 2 forces left in their 9 cards. So they probably just have Force Fluster and we have no counterplay. Or they have Fluster now and Forces in their pile. No, there's 2 forces. They wouldn't put 2 forces in their pile, which makes me think they have a force in their hand. Oh wait, here's a force. Here's a force. Okay, no, there's only 1 force. So there's a force. There's a daze. There's a force, there's a daze. There's an Ancestral, Lotus, Force, Daze. 1 Fluster, 2 Fluster. Okay, so a Fluster. And an Oracle, 6 out of 9. I think they have a Fluster. Or they just had no draw spell in their hand. If we think they have a Fluster, I want to fetch away and try to hit a land drop. That's what I'm thinking. I guess if they have Fluster Daze, I can't beat Fluster Daze no matter what. I don't know if I have counterplay. Maybe if I predict on their upkeep. Yeah, I mean, Doomsday's Doomsday. Everyone keeps telling me Doomsday's bad right now, but not seeing it. Not seeing it. Yeah, I think I'll just try to top deck a land or a Fluster or a Force. Top deck a Dragon Rage Channeler. I don't really want to run into the days that I know is in their 9 cards, so I'm just going. I mean, they put Ancestral, so even if I'm just dead. But I'm gonna predict in their upkeep, and if they have nothing, then I can maybe survive for another turn. No, it's not Eric who's telling me Doomsday is bad. All the Zoomers are telling me that Doomsday is bad right now. Not even a tier 1 deck, which is a little cap. Yeah, so they had the Fluster the whole time, and now I'm dead. Well, I think I played this correctly. I don't really think that the choices that I made were wrong. I just think that Doomsday is, when it resolves, especially when it resolves Ancestral on turn 1, is probably just always going to kill me. Yeah. Maybe I needed them to hit 2 Oracles in their consult. Maybe that's the only line. Yes, but if we're having them on Flusterstorm and Force, I don't think that's better. I think there's a much higher chance of me top decking a land and being able to predict away their Ancestral than for like some kind of breach thing. Like, I think a land top deck is my most reasonable draw to be expecting. And so I think it makes a lot of sense to hedge towards that. Like, it's pretty clear in my mind that they had a Flusterstorm. And it kind of felt like they had both a Daze and a Force. But, I mean, if they have all 3, obviously we have no chance, but... so we get to bring in a Pyroblast and a Flusterstorm. And maybe Surgical Extractions. And then we're going to take out Lightning Bolt, Needle. Yep. Too bad that the cards that Mana Traders is out of is usually like ubiquitous cards across every deck, like Flusterstorm. Like, you don't know what the challenge actually is if everyone plays Flusterstorm, if Flusterstorm is out of Mana Traders, because every deck plays Flusterstorm. Like, if Force of Vigor like is out of Mana Traders, it doesn't really matter because 50% of the decks play Force of Vigor. So it's just like doesn't really help. Well, that runs into Daze. I guess we weren't beating Daze Fluster anyways. I mean, that also runs into the negation. I didn't look for the negation. I don't know. Maybe you're right. I guess we could breach predict, but I don't think that's like a winning line. Maybe it isn't. I mean, maybe neither line is a winning line. I don't know. I'm looking for another card to get rid of here. Dak Faden? Hard to tap out for Dak Faden. Yeah, I mean, I guess we could do that. I just don't know if we're going to be able to win the game if we use our Underworld Breach on a predict. Maybe we do, because we draw 2 cards. I guess the way we win that game is drawing enough cards to counterspell the Oracle. So maybe that line's a little bit better. Okay, so this is a turn 3 Citadel. If I play Saga turn 1, like this is a hand that like actually is capable versus decks that are not Doomsday. But against Doomsday, this hand is just, I mean, I guess I get to make 2 Saga tokens, but I kind of just have to top deck like a Force. Well, the problem is with Dragon Rage Channelers, you probably have to play Saga on turn 1 in this game. And so it doesn't actually Dragon's Rage Channeler, so it doesn't actually do anything. This hand has no interaction versus the best combo deck in the format, so I don't think you can actually keep it. Like, if I'm playing against Bug or something, then I'll probably snap this off, right? Like, if I'm playing against Bug, I probably just go Volcanic, Dragon Rage Channeler, Saga, or maybe even, like, Brainstorm this away if I don't want it. Like, there's a lot of options, but against Doomsday, that's going to kill you on turn 1 and turn 2 with Force backup. I just don't think you can keep this. I am on the play. But, like, what am I doing? Am I playing Tarn and then end of turn Brainstorming, putting back 1 card, fetching away, playing a Dragon's Rage Channeler? Is that, like, actually good? Maybe. Seems pretty sus. Like, I could go Scalding Tarn pass, end of turn Brainstorm, put away the Citadel, or just 1 random card, fetch away the 1 card I don't want. But then I'm still so far from Sagaing, and like I'm really just not doing anything. I think this hand's bad. It doesn't actually find ideal cards fast because you're already dead. Like it's not fast in the terms of vintage Doomsday fast, right? Like, I can go turn 1 Dragon Rage Channeler here, turn 2 Brainstorm with, I guess that's fine. Let's just do that. We'll just ignore the Saga, because Saga's just a garbage magic card. And we'll play Dragon Rage Channeler on turn 1. And then next turn, we can Brainstorm with a fetch. See how fast the Dragon's Rage Channeler works. I guess the Dragon's Rage Channeler also is, like, somewhat of a clock, which is, I guess, helpful if we were given time against Doomsday. But like if Doomsday just kills us on turn 1 here, like what do we do? Yeah, I don't know. It just feels like when you play these decks that are doing interesting things, they're just always going to lose to Doomsday. So I have Brain Freeze in my main deck. How could I lose to Doomsday? All right, let's find out. They could have a bad hand, right? They could have kept a bad 7 where they don't kill you on turn 1 or turn 2. Number of bolts. I cut the 1 bolt. I don't think it's very good against Doomsday. Like, I have to bring in Flusterstorms to Pyroblasts. What am I gonna do? Like, what? I can't just not.
Happy 10 months.
Not do that. Thanks, Thorn. All right, so we didn't die on turn 1, so we have a chance. It's kind of interesting, right? So what we can do is attack or play a Mana Crypt, attack, hold up all this shit. Kind of good. Black Lotus. I don't think we want that. I don't think casting Citadel is the way we're winning this game. I'm gonna graveyard that. And then I'm gonna just attack and hold up all my stuff. So my plan, I think, is going to be end of turn brainstorm. I can either fetch away the cards I don't want. Then we'll predict to draw 2. Or maybe depending on what they hold up, we do something different. I gotta make sure I play a land though. I guess I could also theoretically just play the Saga this turn. Maybe that's better. We'll just go with Saga and predict. Yeah, actually that does sound better. Though it only gives me 1 blue source, so maybe it's not better. But I can play an end of turn predict. I feel like they have to respect some amount of interaction, right? With me holding open 4 mana. All right. So we can pretty much play at instant speed using Saga. All right, predict, targeting me. And then top. It's pretty sweet interaction. Mox Pearl. Draw 2. 3 card types in yard. Do a force. So we have so Preordain guarantees that we hit for 3 this turn. But Brainstorm is just so much better. I do think we want to cast a spell and try to get this to a 3 power though. So maybe the answer is we just cast Preordain right now and make sure that we get to 3 power. How are we putting Narset in our yard? We're brainstorming it back and casting a second spell without fetching somehow? Is jamming Narset an option? I don't think so. Maybe. We do have force backup. It's not the worst play. We have force backup. We don't get to activate our Saga though. And then we don't get to represent Fluster or Pyroblast on the next turn. Like, I think if we cast Narset, we're priced into forcing their force. And it's not like they can't beat a Narset using, like, Time Walks and Street Wraiths and stuff. I kind of don't like it. Yeah, I don't like it. I'm not going to do that. Are they looking at dazing this? That would be weird. That would just resolve. I think... These are all garbage. All right. So I have a force and I have a predict. I represent Pyro and Fluster, and I'm making a Saga token. It's pretty good. I also have end of turn Brainstorm, which gets rid of some number of cards depending on, you know, this shuffles. Maybe we do end up casting. Well, we'll have a Lotus. We could cast. Oh no, we won't have a Lotus because our Lotus is in our yard. Interesting. So yeah, I do think you can jam Narset there, but then you're priced into forcing, and I just don't know if that's actually good. It could be fine. If my opponent goes Dark Ritual Doomsday here, I don't counter it. I have to fight after. Oh, they just get to know my hand. That's fun. That certainly takes the fun out of Magic. Maybe we should have jammed Narset. So I'll have 6 power. So they can't actually do a pass the turn pile because this construct is a 2/2. And then when Saga goes off, it's a 3/3, which is 6 damage. So if they Doomsday, they have to kill me through Force of Will right now, which doesn't sound hard. It doesn't really seem like a problem, but a resolved Doomsday makes it lethal for me. Yep. Yep. Man, they spent 2 cards and didn't gain any card advantage? That's crazy. That deck can't be good. Oh yeah, we're just 100% dead, Wombo. Just like you said, this deck is bad. Doomsday is unplayable. Doomsday can't ever win. Tier 3 deck. Just like the Zoomers told me. We have Force. If they have Fluster, we can't pay. Gush? Jesus. Yeah, we're so dead. Gush plus Fluster, it looks like. And a Street Wraith. And 2, yeah, and a Street Wraith. Fluster, Street Wraith. We're just fucking dead. I don't really know why we bother. Don't really know why we bother. I should have fetched. I should fetch right now. Because if this reveals a Force, I want to be able to brainstorm into it. I mean, they could maybe, I don't know, something right now. Yeah. I mean, Golos is probably your best Saga deck, so yeah. Bant Archon isn't even a playable deck, let alone the best deck. All right, so they had Force backup. So it's pretty unlikely that our Narset Jam might have still worked. But if they had Fluster, like, I guess the Fluster wouldn't have helped for the Narset Jam. I think it's better to just brainstorm here. Still just looking for a Force. Man, Time Walk would have been fine before. All right, we did not find a Force. So we die. Yeah, I don't know. Doomsday is Doomsday and we're dead. Well, the problem is if we don't fight over Narset, then all we have is what? Oh. The problem is if we don't fight over Narset, then we just are tapped out versus Doomsday. like if we play Narset and they force Narset, then we're just tapped out and lose to Fluster. Like, it doesn't actually make our chances any better. Like, if we cast Narset, we have to force and make sure Narset resolves. But I don't know. It's Doomsday. It's broken. That's the shit. All right, welcome back to round 2 of Doomsday Challenge, where I play against Doomsday and only Doomsday, and tilt off and play badly. I mean, I don't think I'm supposed to mulligan this, so... Let's get a top going, then we'll have blast and top up, and then we can, yep, you got a street wraith, Yeah, we could have mulliganed and lost against our opponent's 7-card hand. That would have done it. That would really show them. I think the only real decision in the last game was Narset, and I don't think I made the right decision, so it's on me, I guess. I think the more we thought about it post match, the Narset play seems like it's a little bit better, just because it negates the fluster and the Jesus Christ, yeah, okay. But anyways, moving on. We get to hold up Flusterstorm, we can spin tops, we can do predict things. We got some game. Maybe I'm supposed to just Pyroblast that and then go for a spin and then a predict. Possible. I really don't like that, but it's not terrible. What did they do? They went top. They probably grabbed this Preordain. I feel like it's just not worth it at this point. Probably should hold Pyroblast for like a dig through time. Or a force. I don't know. I feel like all those weird hate cards for Doomsday are pretty just shit. So. And it's also just only one deck in the format. Alright, so what can I do here? I can draw the Jet, cast the Jet, predict away the Preordain, and draw Volcanic Unknown. Kind of think that's the play. And now we're getting close to doing some things here. We definitely have some amount of gameplay. I assume we just let this Doomsday resolve. Not that I actually have a counter in my hand right now, but we just kind of need to find our brain freeze, right? We have blast for like a gush here. Oh, I definitely think I'm casting dig through time. I think that is definitely happening. All right, so we're just looking for like brain freeze. Even then, brain freeze is just targeting them, right? Okay, I have a dig. Keeping my Black Lotus, maybe that's terrible because now I can't play around days. But yeah, I think I maybe should have just exiled my Black Lotus so that I could play Pyroblast without getting hit by days. I mean, it's not like that would be the worst thing in the world, would be to get force dazed and then I just have a top spin. I don't think it's that bad. So if I just take... I wish this was a fetch land. Because now I can theoretically... Okay, I just take the Ruby to get Storm up, and then I just freeze them right away and they just lose. So I do... Yeah. This should just kill them. I think I'm gonna spin and look for like another Moxen would be good. Yeah, it depends on the spin, but there's definitely some value in drawing and playing top. Oh, I like fetch land. Oh, I also think Fluster's probably good too. Yeah, I mean, this should do it, right? Draw Fluster, play Ruby Brain Freeze with Fluster Pyroblast. That should just be the play. I have 5 mana, so I can play top 2, right? Draw top, play top, yeah. Draw top. Play Ruby. Top. Brain Freeze. Okay. Suck it, Doomsday. I have main deck Brain Freeze. I heard that was good at one point. Anyways, same sideboard. Pyroblast. Surgicals, Flusterstorms. Where I take out Hercules, Needle, Lightning Bolt, and Dak. Like, Lightning Bolt isn't the end of the world, but maybe I keep Lightning Bolt and just take out an island. But I kind of like having the ability to actually play land drops in this matchup, so. Because, like, we have the ability to play at instant speed with Saga and Predict. Maybe we don't have enough Flusterstorms in our deck. I did cut, like, a Flusterstorm from my initial build, so we are a little low on. Yeah, all the Zoomers and Doomsday players say it's bad now. I don't know why, but I think one of the big reasons is that Bug got Endurance, and I do think that Endurance makes the Bug matchup more palpable for the Bug player. So it kind of vibes. Well, I have a Force and a Saga and a Channeler. I think this is probably fine. It is pretty nice. Like, looking at these opening hands, if we weren't playing against Doomsday, it kind of is pretty sweet because these Sagas just always get Lotus for these bad Citadels, which makes the Citadel castable. So I kind of like that shit. I think this deck has some promise, even if we go 0-2 and just lose to Doomsday. I think there's something here. I don't think Endurance is like the end-all be-all, but just giving Bug more main deck tools to not get overrun by Doomsday, I think does skew what was previously a pretty insane matchup into just an okay matchup. I think that's the big reason why Doomsday players are not super happy. There's also the thing with like all the Hold Breacher decks where people are playing 4 main deck Hold Breachers, which are pretty good against Doomsday, especially when you combine that with like Saga. Like, I assume the Esper Saga deck is probably pretty good against Doomsday. It's just a pile of Flusterstorms and Hold Breachers. With like playing at instant speed with Saga and Hold Breachers, pretty good against Doomsday. So I do think that the recent meta shifts and recent printings have probably made it harder for Doomsday. But this doesn't mean like the Doomsday deck is like less powerful, you know? So a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So I could see like Doomsday not being tier 0 anymore, because I do think it was tier 0 for a while, and maybe Doomsday is now just another good deck in Vintage, and that's a good thing. But I think I'm supposed to force this because my clock is not high enough. don't think that makes it better. So if they have any counter spells, we do die here. Okay, so if they have force and they have a draw spell, we lose. Turn 2, force back up. It's a pretty bad hand for Doomsday. Even if they don't have a turn 2 kill here, it's pretty hard for us to do anything unless we like top deck Brain Freeze. So yeah, I think Doomsday is the best and most consistent combo deck still. Like, it's going to kill you on turn 2 with force backup in most games, and it does have turn 1 kills, but it's more of a turn 2 kill combo deck. So yep, so my opponent just has the turn 2 on the play kill with force backup. Not much I can do. I could have mulliganed for a better hand, but I felt a clock and a force is not terrible. Maybe I should have gone deeper. I feel like it's pretty hard to mulligan a turn 1 creature and a force, right? Yeah, O2. Needle for Necro does not sound like a winning choice. I do think I was probably supposed to play 4 Channeler, but whoops. We've cast 0 Tinker so far. That probably doesn't help our chances either. Like, getting Necroed is so few games out of Doomsday that I just don't think it's worth worrying about. And I think if they're casting Necro instead of Doomsday, it's already a good thing for you, basically. Because Necro doesn't always win, whereas Doomsday always wins. Necro, like, has it's a pretty reasonably high fail rate, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, I think this is not great, right? It's a lot of mana, but I don't know. I have an Ancestral and a Pyroblast, and the ability to play around Fluster. Maybe I'm just not mulliganing correctly, and this is actually a mulligan or something. It feels hard to put this back, though. Library of Alexandria. Wow. All right. So we're really not grinding. All right. I mean, my hand isn't terrible against Library of Alexandria. Yeah, there are definitely Doomsday pilots who have a library in their sideboard for matchups that are going to grind more. Like, theoretically, if I'm on like a 2 Brain Freeze Breach deck, my opponent doesn't really want to do a Doomsday kill. They would rather do like a consult kill. So being able to grind with library has got some potential. So I think the answer here is just Ancestral on their upkeep. I don't think holding Ancestral for... I don't think holding Ancestral for after Doomsday is ever really a good play. And they're tapped. They don't have Flusterstorm. But I think it makes sense to just cast this on their upkeep. If they force, it means they are off library on the next turn unless they cast nothing. Like, they do get to draw with library here. So they can like draw with library and go for a force. But that puts them on 6 cards. So they would have to play 0 cards. So we do have double force Pyroblast now. So that's a plus. I don't know if we're supposed to end of turn predict blind. Maybe we could hit them and name Preordain. Maybe we could hit us and name Preordain. I feel like just predicting ourselves and hitting Preordain sounds like a viable plan here. Maybe I'm just being too greedy. Oh, there's a Preordain in my hand. Never mind. So it wouldn't be Preordain. So I definitely would not want to do that. I'm going to just hold it. I feel like there's no reason to like get less value when we're currently grinding. I'd like a Saga. No. Probe is interesting. A Saga would be pretty nice because we could actually have a clock and we're not, you know, just at the mercy of this Library of Alexandria. Time Walk. They have a Fluster and they have the Doomsday. They actually had Dark Ritual, Doomsday. They're waiting for like another blue source, I guess. Like, their hand is a Doomsday kill. I think I'm gonna Time Walk and Preordain if they let me. Yeah, I'm gonna Preordain. So what I could do is draw the Pyroblast, upkeep a predict on the island. Don't really think that's good though. I think I would rather just draw a Pyro and go next. I don't really have a great counter suite for what my opponent is doing. So that's a little concerning. Underworld Breach. Now that's pretty interesting. That's pretty interesting. So I can breach, but I can only cast 1 spell. But I feel like I should be breaching and casting Ancestral, targeting myself here no matter what. Like, they'll probably fluster it, but that's fine because... is that fine? I'm actually 1 short of casting it a second time. Then they won't have Fluster on their turn. But we will also be out of gas. It's kind of a hard choice. I wish I had 1 more card in my yard, huh? I guess I could technically force... it's just not good. I could wait. It feels rough to wait against library in the hand that I'm currently staring down, where they have everything they could ever want, right? I mean, getting a 1-for-1 when my opponent is on library is not ideal. What if I go for a brain freeze? It's not very good. I can probe first, right? If I probe, no. Can't probe first. Hmm. Yeah, I know that it goes back in the yard, but that would still only be 3 cards in my yard. I need 4. I don't know if pyroing the fluster really makes sense. Because then I can't hold up any forces. I mean, I can't hold up any pyros, but maybe I'm not supposed to hold up in any pyros. I lose my merchant scroll this way, which is not ideal. It's a lot of work to draw 3 random cards. Imagine they drew a daze off of this library activation. Live, but for how much longer? We have had to play against Doomsday twice. I don't think I'm gonna O2 drop when I lose this game, but see what happens, I guess. Interesting. The problem is my opponent is on library still, and that's just more card advantage than what I'm doing, right? Like, if my opponent casts Doomsday, I kind of have to counter it. Do I have to counter it? This is true. If I top deck my 140, not bad. I guess the Dragon Rage Channelers are pretty reasonable top decks as well. Well, they know I'm on predict now, so I really don't feel like that is an ideal way. I mean, maybe we could let Doomsday resolve and just double predict them. I guess that's something that we could theoretically do. The problem is they are on demonic, or they are on dark ritual Doomsday. And they have a cantrip. They did not use this Watery Grave, so that's one less card that we don't know about. Well, I'm just playing around Daze, is why I played the Mox Emerald. So in case they drew Daze this turn, I could force and not get dazed. Okay, they went for Demonic Tutor. What does Demonic Tutor get them here? A Force? I don't know. A Fluster, maybe? Whatever it is, I think it's just Resolves. I don't think it makes sense to counter this Demonic. I don't think they're going to cast Doomsday this turn. Oh, they got Duress. Okay. Well, I know 4 cards in their hand, chat. So I can't actually die. Unless they're yeah, there's no way I can die on this turn. If they want to play 3 mana Duress, I think I want to let them do that. I think they're going to pass after this Duress resolves and then just get back on Library. If their 5th card is a counter? No, they don't have a land drop, so they... Okay, so they have a Dark Ritual and a Doomsday. No, because this is their 3-card hand plus 1. If they have a counter spell, then they can't draw into the cards after Doomsday. Well, this seems like a pretty easy force. They kind of have to have Fluster as their last card for them to be winning here. They're not winning on this turn either. If they have Fluster as their last card here, they don't have an extra mana. Or do they have an extra mana? Maybe they do have a Watery Grave land drop that I missed here. I kind of played this turn like they didn't have a land drop, but I guess they do have a land drop. Okay, they don't. All right. Did they have a land drop this turn? No, they activated a Polluted Delta this turn. No, they played a Polluted Delta. Okay, yeah. So they had no way of killing me this turn. And now they're off of Library, and their hand is Fatal Push, Watery Grave, and it had a Sleight of Hand at one point. There's no pack. No, I think we're technically winning right now. We do need to top deck something that does something, though. Of course not. All right, so I think I'm supposed to predict. I think I'm supposed to predict here. But the problem is, I guess I would have to name Preordain on myself, or I guess I can name Preordain on them. Or I could name, yeah, I could name Saga on myself. That's probably better. That's probably the best name. I hit Urza Saga, which is funny. I can Flooded Strand Doomsday. I could Surgically Extract Doomsday. Kinda seems pretty reasonable. Yeah, I kind of like this. Oh, they're done after that. Yeah, so that was pretty dope. I also get to spin this top and find a dig. Yeah, okay. We beat a Doomsday player. All right. Unfortunately, we have found the Ryan, the Winged Hussar, the Hollowvine player. So our tournament is going to be Doomsday, Doomsday, Hollowvine. That's that's fun, isn't it? This hand could theoretically find a lethal combo, so I guess we'll keep it. Yeah, we're just playing against mono decks that Justin hates. I expect nothing less from a vintage challenge, truly. Absolutely nothing less. Oh, ooh, it's not Hollowvine. That's exciting. Wow. What happened to Ryan? Didn't play Bazaar of Baghdad. I'm so confused. So confused. I don't understand. What is our play here? Is it like Preordained, Time Walk, Saga? Or is that not a good use of resources? The problem with that line is unless we find a Moxen, we can't activate our Saga. But if we do find a Moxen. But if we don't, we run into Daze. All right, I am going... I think I do want to do Black Lotus, Time Walk, Preordain, though. Those kind of seem strong. Hercule's Recall Pearl. I'm okay with that. Just play into trap. This does let us spin, which is pretty sweet. Ah. I see. Feel like we only want 0 other ones. We just want a rainforest so we can fetch these away. Don't really feel like we want more sagas, do we? So we play a saga on our next turn, and then we play a saga on our next turn. We activate. We won't have enough to double activate. We'll do a bunch of activates. We don't even have a lot of things to get either. I kind of don't think I want more sagas. I think I would rather just fetch away after one other saga. All right, well, we don't have a lot going on, but we have some interaction. Yeah, like this next turn, I can spin. If there's a new card underneath the 3, I can keep that one. Fetch away the 2. Fetch away 2 sagas if I want, and then kind of seems fine. I don't think we. I mean, maybe we could use a second saga. I guess if they wasteland us, we could use a second saga. I don't know what deck they're on. I haven't really seen. Oh, is it just Jeskai things? Interesting. That would be odd. Prismatic ending on my Pearl. Sure. Just Jeskai things? Interesting. Four of a kind? Really? Alright, well. Guess we're drawing a Saga. I think one more Saga is fine. But I don't really feel like I need more than one more Saga. So the first Saga is going to get, what, a Soul Ring? No, I did take a Saga. I did take one. Expressive Iteration. Well, I'm not going to fluster this because the value of not using a Saga is pretty low. I'm surprised this is what the Winged Hussar is playing. I wonder if it's Breach still. It might be Breach. Like a Jeskai Breach. That'd be an interesting battle. You could get down. I think maybe this first Saga has to get a Sapphire so that I can hold up Flusterstorm still. That might be true. Do I need to hold up Flusterstorm, I guess, is a different question. It's kind of shitty because I definitely would have Flusterstormed this Expressive Iteration if I had countered the Prismatic Ending. But I didn't. And I lost my Pearl. Because if I had a Pearl here, I would probably just fluster that. And move on with my life. But I don't really think I want to have any more Sagas. I think this is a good number of Sagas. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a Sapphire so I can hold up Fluster. I guess maybe I should get a Needle on Dakvaden, but because now they have to beat 4 constructs, so it feels pretty good. It's possible I was supposed to get a Needle on Dakvaden, but I don't know. It's nice that these are 4/4s and they can't get lightning bolted. Blue. With no fetch. Brainstorm. That's a mental misstep target. 100%. I mean, if they're gonna Pyroblast this and they're Brainstorm locking themselves, I guess they could have another fetch land. Yeah, that's fine. If they have another fetch land, I guess that's pretty good. But I think the misstep for a Pyroblast is a fair trade. I wasn't like super into the idea of mental misstepping this because I could like hold mental misstep for swords. But I think that Brainstorm's pretty valuable. Not knowing if my opponent has another fetch land makes it hard for me to justify Flusterstorming this. But maybe I'm still supposed to. It's definitely possible I'm still supposed to Flusterstorm that. Okay, gets back a Prismatic Ending. That makes sense. I mean, if they're going to preordain into the Prismatic Ending and cast it, I will fluster that. That seems like free real estate. And then I said no. So Saga is definitely gonna dismantle this Jeskai gamer, which is definitely expected. Oh, I guess I should have taken the Misty Rainforest. Whoops. See what's in their hand. I guess I should have preordained away. Negation Fluster. Interesting. I think I'm willing to just see if my last card is... Maybe I just want to bottom and see if I can't find... My opponent could just like go off here, theoretically. Ancestral into Cruise, into Mentor into Ancestral into Cruise or something. I don't really have counterplay, so I'm trying to figure out if I'm just supposed to set myself up to... Nah, I'm gonna just hold up. Maybe I'm supposed to cast Preordain and just show him I have nothing. Alright, so here's Cruise. I think I spin for a Force. Didn't find a Force. Definitely think I'm just supposed to fetch these away. I guess I could keep the DAC in case their play is like DAC steal this untapped construct. But they still lose to DAC if they DAC steal untapped construct, so... They would have to have DAC steal untapped construct and have a removal spell. In which case, I could just spin into my DAC. And then cast DAC. Okay. Yeah, Urza Saga, I've always said, is going to be very good against Jeskai, but Jeskai just kind of hasn't existed in a couple months. But, you know, with Amir coming back, some people are trying it out. Yeah, I guess that's true. I mean, it's nice to have a land drop. I don't think getting a land drop is bad, but maybe it's not necessary. All right, so I think I want my second Flusterstorm and my Pyroblast and my Lantern, maybe. And then I'll take out Hercules and Island and... I'm not exactly sure. Like, all my cards are fine. I guess this Needle's not very good. Like, I could definitely justify playing more Lightning Bolts in my deck, but what am I going to cut? I guess I could technically cut some Force of Wills, but I've never really found that to be correct in Vintage. The only thing I can think about here is, like, maybe I can cut the whole Tinker package. But I don't find that to be correct either. So I kind of think I'm just going to keep it like this, and we'll see what happens. I don't know enough about what's in my opponent's deck either. Like, we just saw Jeskai cards, and we didn't really get a good feel. Like, they could still be breaching us. Kind of a mulligan, but I don't think it's a mulligan for me. I think I would rather just go Soul Ring top here. Helps me play into something like my Mental Misstep. It'll give me a bunch of mana for the next turn. So next turn we'll have Probe, and then if I want a Ponder, I can draw into a Ponder. Sure. Okay. Is this gonna be Lavinia? Time Walk. Okay. Narset would be a banger here. Ventor would be a banger here. Lavinia, yeah. Alright, I don't really want this probe anymore, but maybe I should have played around that. I could spin the probe away, but that doesn't really seem strong. It might just be correct to still draw into my Ponder and Preordains anyways, just to keep grinding. Like, probe them and see what their hand is, maybe. Do I want a Ponder? I think I do want a Ponder. I kind of wish I had a Preordain because I think I want to crack away the other one. Maybe not. Alright, I want to see what you're working with, opponent. Show me the goods. If they Pyroblast this, what the fuck does that mean? If they were to Pyroblast this, it would mean they have... I don't know, negation? I'm not really sure what that would mean. All right, they have Pyroblast. They have Tarn Iteration Scroll. Wow, that's really good. That's a lot of grinding. I really wish we had a Saga here. A Saga would be really helpful here, but maybe I need to put in more of my lightning bolts. I do have what, 3 Pyroblasts and a lightning bolt for Lavinia. I think I'm just gonna cast Ponder and not fetch, and then I can still get rid of one of the cards if I want to keep them. Definitely. Okay, they're just gonna blast it. Sure. All right, so I assume they just cast Expressive Iteration here, or maybe they go Merchant Ancestral. I can't force or Mental Misstep if they go Merchant Ancestral, so it's pretty reasonable for them to do so. Oh yeah, for sure. Jeskai doesn't do anything besides outdraw the opponent. That is definitely true. I think my opponent should probably go Merchant, Ancestral, Mystic Sanctuary, Ancestral, and just kill me, pretty much. I don't really think that I had counterplay in this situation. My opponent was on the play, and they had a Time Walk, and they had a pretty solid grinding hand. I don't really know if I had choices here. It is very unfortunate. So how do we get out of this? So them not cracking means they either can't get into the Ancestral right now, or they have Fluster Pyroblast. I did draw my own Fluster. And these other cards... Alright, so I'm going to get this Fluster. And then I'm going to crack away the other cards. And I'm going to cast this Ancestral with Fluster Storm back up. And if they do end up sanctuarying the Ancestral, I can Brain Freeze it. Just another... I mean, this would have to... Okay, they're gonna... Okay. They're gonna throw these all on an Fluster on my Ancestral. The only way they technically win this here. I don't have 4 mana. Okay. Yep. So they're gonna be left with expressive iteration, one unknown after I brain freeze them. How much do I brain freeze them for? Do I brain freeze them for all of it? Or do I brain freeze them for one and then brain freeze myself for the rest? Okay, well, I want to get rid of these, so at least one on myself. I think we'll just do all of them on them and one on myself. I hit their mentor, how can they ever win? All right, we don't know anything in their hand, so they have two unknowns and then an iteration here. We're pretty far behind in this game. I guess theoretically our best draws are Underworld Breach, which would get us a couple Ancestrals, maybe. Good morning, the one. I think Dress Down's really sweet. I almost played Dress Down PO. I honest to God think Dress Down PO is the best version of PO that I played with in recent memory. So I do think that there's something to Dress Down PO. I think it's pretty likely I'll play Dress Down PO in the Mana Traders Swiss. I think that's kind of likely. I guess theoretically we could draw Underworld Breach and then brain Ancestral ourselves and brain freeze them, maybe. Let's try to mill them out. Saga. I could have spun, but I didn't think spinning was particularly good. Saga's not a bad draw, though. Dragon Rage Channeler. I actually only have 3 card types in my yard, which is interesting. So I want to play a Saga this turn. Do I also want to play a Dragon Rage Channeler this turn? I don't really think so. It's not going to do anything. I guess I get to cast. Okay, so if I draw and play a Dragon Rage Channeler this turn, and then I cast top and mill my Delta and draw another Saga, actually, that kind of seems good. I got a force? Wow, okay, dope. So instead, I'll just draw into top and then spin and draw into another Saga. And then we'll just try to play Saga Beatdown and hope they don't draw a Delve spell. This game basically revolves around if my opponent draws one of their 2 Delve spells. I was hoping to mill, like, Mentor and both Delve spells. Maybe that's, like, completely unrealistic, but it seems like a way I could have won the game is if I hit, like, both Delve spells and Mentor. I guess they still have Gush in their deck, too, so they can Gush back Sanctuary. So maybe milling them with all of this is not worth it, but it looks like they kind of bricked, so we've got a shot. Yeah, I mean, I think Gush wins them the game for sure, but there's some amount of, like, what can you do, right? Okay, they're going to hard cast a force on this top, maybe. Which is unfortunate because the way I ordered my lands, I have to draw this Delta before I draw the other Saga, and then the other Saga gets fucking thrown away. Okay, so I really screwed up pretty badly. I should have definitely have reorganized. I should have floated a top. Okay, so what I should have done is I should have floated an activation, drawn with top, drawn into Dragon Rage Channeler, and then, well, that wouldn't have let me cast Dragon Rage Channeler and found out if I was going to get forced or not. I really didn't think the Dragon Rage Channeler was going to get forced. I don't know. I feel like there's probably some way I could have played that better, but my opponent is on 0 cards, so that's good. I do have to, yeah, unfortunately I'm not going to draw the second Saga, which is pretty sad. If my opponent wanted to trade with Lavinia there, that would have been great. I'm going to have to draw this Delta instead. But I have some constructs happening here, and this doesn't get a top, and it also gets a ooh! It gets a Soul Guide Lantern. All right, this is the first time Soul Guide Lantern's been good in my entire life. I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to just crack this Soul Guide Lantern and just get rid of their yard. I guess I could play this Delta, but it doesn't really seem useful. All right, so now they don't have a mentor. And they have to win with like a Lavinia. It's possible. I have a feeling there's just 0 chance in hell this ever resolves, but I resolved. All right, perfect. Okay. I mean, they play what, max 1 Hold Reacher? Who gives a fuck? Like, if it happens, it happens. Like, I'm not playing around that, obviously. Probably keep this. Well, this game looks pretty good for us. Not gonna lie. Urza Saga, definitely good against Jeskai. Probably a good reason not to run Jeskai. I did think I got pretty lucky by the way the Brain Freeze worked out, so. Yeah, for sure. I've never said that Saga wouldn't be good. I always said Saga would be good against Jeskai. There's just no one on Jeskai, right? Yeah, no Wasteland, no Vigor. You basically have to play some Fragmentizes or something in your board. Well, that's the thing, the one. I think Saga is like very conditionally good. It's not ubiquitously good in the current metagame. Is that actually the right word there? Ubiquitous. No. That's not the right word. Oh, they found the Gush. Just a turn after I got rid of all their stuff. They do have Sanctuary, so if they were to hit... I mean, they have Sanctuary Gush, so they could still do that. I like Dress Down more than Repeal. Dress Down against Saga is hilarious. I'm a pretty big fan. Because Dress Down, you just get both the constructs. Repeal's fine, but I think Dress Down is like... I mean, the best card is Force of Vigor, right? But, Force of Vigor, Wasteland are the 2 big ones, but Jeskai obviously doesn't play those. So my opponent did get to Gush and bring back a Sanctuary. So this is exactly what I was worried about happening until I hit Soul Guide Lantern. Because then I got rid of the Ancestral and the Time Walk and everything. Alpine Moon is pretty good as well. That is the card outside in the sideboard of Jeskai that I thought was pretty decent against making it play against Saga. We would have had a very hard time winning this game if my opponent had an Alpine Moon. I don't think this game is over, because I do think my opponent could theoretically answer my board, right? Just like removal and Pyroblast. But I do have a nice backup hand now. I have some dead draws, but I do have an active deck. Damn, Falcon Eye. Where do you find these opponents? I'm sitting here playing against Echo Baron, Mad Max, Max Magic. Mad Max is actually someone different. So Doomsday, my two Doomsday opponents are a combined 1 and 5, with me being the only victory. So maybe not. Maybe it's just I'm bad against Doomsday and everyone else is good against Doomsday. Possible. Looked pretty unbeatable when it played against us, Slasher. Just turn 2 kill with force backup. How do you beat that? The Zoomers are sometimes right. I find that the Zoomers are pretty polarizing. They're either very right or very, very wrong. So, yeah. Yeah, I mean, we've cast 0 Tinkers in 3 rounds, Kubels, so that's probably been pretty prohibitive on us being 3-0. I would recommend drawing, casting, and resolving Tinker if at all, and whenever possible. Key to Vintage, number 1. Play Tinker, Bazaar of Baghdad, or Mishra's Workshop on turn 1. Like, Wombo literally sleeved up a Noble Hierarch the other week. Oh, hello. There's monkeys? Are we double dashing at our Dak Fade in here? Or are we like hitting, we're going off the top. We're going off the top, survey says. Pyroblast? What? What? They hit a Pyroblast to kill Dak Faden? This is the greatest thief in the multiverse. Oh, this is a good screenshot, though. Sorry, Dak. There is a new greatest thief in the multiverse. Send tweet. Wait, they didn't use the Pyroblast? Maybe they didn't want to put a Pyroblast in my yard in case I breached them. That's like a theoretical reason, is they think I drew Underworld Breach off of my Dak activation and don't want to put the Pyroblast into the yard so that the Pyroblast kills the Lavinia, which is an interesting line. That is a very interesting line. And it actually worked out perfectly for them. What a goddamn master. You love to see it, really. I don't think that actually is like good enough to stop an Underworld Breach from being gas here. Oh, was it with Expressive Iteration is where the Pyroblast was from? Fair, fair. Then they kind of had to use the Pyroblast anyways, right? So the answer here is still to play an Underworld Breach, right? We could go Dragon's Rage Channeler, Underworld Breach, Soul Guide Lantern, Ancestral. We could just go Underworld Breach, Ancestral. They have 0 forces left. They might have 1. No, they have 0 forces left. So we should just cast a bunch of Ancestral Recalls, right? Maybe we're supposed to play a Dragon's Rage Channeler and cast a bunch of Ancestral Recalls. We could also theoretically cast Ancestral and then maybe freeze them. Did they use Sanctuary? They put Expressive Iteration on the top of their library. I think I'm just supposed to cast this Underworld Breach. I'm not 100% sure what I'm supposed to do with this Underworld Breach. But I can cast like Ancestral and then Top or Lantern to make this construct a 3/3. I could just cast a Dragon's Rage Channeler. I have no idea what the correct play is. No, because there's a Lavinia in play. I can't actually get this construct big enough. Because of the... I have to draw into my second Pyroblast to do that. I do win if I draw into my second Pyroblast. Right on this next Ancestral. I do think casting another Ancestral makes sense. Okay. So that's lethal. No, it's not lethal because I can't actually play a top and a Time Walk. If I play a top and they don't block, I can't play a Time Walk. Maybe I'm still supposed to Brain Freeze them for 12 here. Put the Expressive Iteration away. I think Time Walks makes the most sense. I'm gonna play Time Walk. If they have a Pyro, they can counter this Time Walk, and I can't do anything about it. I am willing to trade this construct for Lavinia because I win the game on the spot. Predict. Dragon's Rage Channeler. All right, so let's go. Dragon's Rage Channeler. Yeah, that would have been lethal. I missed that for sure. I definitely missed that one. I didn't really think about that line, but yes, if I had just gotten Lotus countered a couple times and then played Freeze, that would be weak to Flusterstorm. I don't know if that actually matters or not. I actually don't have any artifacts that I can cast. As demonstrated by those 3 artifacts that I cannot cast. My opponent probably just takes this and draws into iteration and tries to kill me, I guess. I am at 10. I guess they have a monkey still. Should I have been playing? I mean, I have a 3/3. I think I played this game pretty poorly, but in my defense, I've literally never played a game like this in my life. But yeah, I guess I don't know. Let's check Flusterstorm count. I've seen 0 Flusterstorms from my opponent. I'm not sure the Brain Freeze line was good. I'm not sure the Brain Freeze line was good. It definitely was the only thing that gave me a chance to win on that turn. I feel like another line that was reasonable was just like replaying the Soul Guide Lantern or the top so that my construct was a 3/3, and they didn't have to chump it because I didn't have a time walk until after the second ancestral, and I couldn't cast the time walk because the thing because I didn't have enough mana. I don't know. I feel like this is still a losable game though. It's not a turn 2 card. That's the problem, right? So if my opponent expresses iterations and kills my Dragon's Rage Channeler, and then Ragavans, yeah, I'm aware I have more sagas. I think this game is totally losable. Though Mentor being exiled does make it hard for my opponent. Yeah, this is the place where Saga should look the best, is against a control deck with no win cons. If it didn't look good here, you should have never registered it. Put it that way. GG's. Yeah, I don't know. Well, it's about racing slasher. If they were to put a monkey into play, kill my Dragon Rage Channeler, and like cast a couple lightning bolts or something. I don't think it's like crazy to think about. Though, and Dig Through Time into Underworld Breach is definitely going to win. So the best thing that happened in this game was tutoring Lantern off of Saga. So maybe Lantern in the board is still pretty reasonable. I still don't like Lantern in the main, but Lantern in the board seemed all right. That was a game. Let's go to round 4 here. We're 2-1. There's going to be 7 rounds today because we actually ended up on 68 players. So our breakers are shit, obviously. We kind of have to win all of our matches. I guess this is... God, this hand's so bad against Wasteland. This is the kind of thing where I'm like, Saga, you're super sus. But I guess if you just don't think of Saga as a land, then it's not super sus, and you would just be mulliganing this hand no matter what. My opponent is on Dredge. Oh. My opponent just only plays Dredge. So I guess we just mulligan this hand anyways, because we don't live to turn 3. I guess we just mulligan this. But like, is this hand going to beat Dredge either? I guess it gets 2 cantrips. Well, the Saga hand could have gotten a Needle on turn 3. So maybe we should have just kept the Saga hand and been like, hope it works. I guess this hand technically could draw us into a Needle, so probably worth keeping. Just bottom of Valk, and we'll go Sapphire Preordain, and then we'll go Island Ponder if we need to. Just draw Tinker. How many times have we drawn Tinker tonight? Is that a viable option? If so... Actually, my opponent hasn't had a vintage placing since basically 2019. They played a bunch of Dredge in 2019 and 2020. But they haven't really played vintage since then. They've just... actually, they haven't really played Magic Online in 2021. Interesting. Keep. Bottom. Done. Yeah. Kind of agree. Kind of agree. How low can they go? Ooh, can they go? Anyways, how's chat? How's it going? What's the best way to order this hand for aesthetic purposes, chat? Is it Island Volk, Sapphire Jet? Oh, we're playing Magic. Right, we're playing Magic. Never mind. They kept a hand. Interesting. Hercule's Recall, Mana Crypt. Well, we don't want those. Emerald. Okay. All right. We continue. Saga Predict. I feel like we're supposed to keep this hand. Oh god, it's so bad though. If we were to like draw Saga, draw predict away Ruby, is that better than a random card? 2 random cards? I feel like it could be better than 2 random cards. We're just so dead. All right, I'm gonna do it. Maybe this was shit. I don't know. Predict gives me 2 random cards, but I also get an Urza Saga. So pluses, minuses, you know, those kind of things. It also doesn't give me a random card that can get griefed. Oh my lord. I guess we should not have mulliganed away hand. What was our 7-card hand? I guess our 7-card hand would not have beaten oops, all spells because it was Pyroblast and not Force. Okay, all right. Well, that's unfortunate. Man, I got outskilled there. That's for sure. Yup. Look at the cards. 2 therapies, 1 dread return, hacks, 1 oracle. Oh, there's bridges. So the Narcomoeba has just enough. That's kind of unfortunate, actually. If they didn't have 2 bridges, that wouldn't work. Maybe that's how it's built. I thought there were 4 Narcomoebas, though. Maybe not. So yeah, they have therapy into dread return. Yeah. So if they blind, so if we had kept our turn 1 hand, our 7-card hand, because this therapy went under a Chrome Mox, if they hadn't named Pyroblast, we actually would have won. No, we wouldn't have, because this is, never mind, this is 0. Never mind, that wouldn't have won. Okay, so we would not have won if we kept our 7-card hand. All right, well, they have all the spells. We don't have, you know, a crazy amount of shit to deal with this. We do have Surgical, Fluster, Pyro, Soul Guide Lantern, Wrap Trap. They could probably board into Belcher. They probably do board into Belcher, but that's okay. Needle is probably fine. Urkels is bad. Island is... I mean, we probably don't need, like, all of our Sagas and all of our islands here. Probably don't need more predicts than we need than necessary. How good is Pyroblast? Is it actually just kind of garbage? Well, they probably still have Tinker, Force, Pact. It's probably still fine. I don't know how many you're supposed to play. Why am I a paid actor? What did I do wrong? Yeah, Dax. Well, Dak like hits their artifact mana after you counter their first thing. I don't think it's bad, actually. My opponent killed me on turn 1. That makes me a paid actor. I don't really understand what your point is. I just don't want any of these sagas, really. Is Narset bad? I guess. It's not great, but it's not that bad. I mean, if you counter all of their stuff, you do still need to like win the game. So, oh, no point. All right, well, make a funnier joke. Oh. How do I block someone? Oh, there it is. All right, anyways. Yes, I accept. All right, I finally found the good hand, chat. I finally found the good hand. We've done it. This is the stone cold, straight up Nutter Butters. The only way this hand is better is if there's like a second Flusterstorm, right? If this Volcanic is a second Flusterstorm, then I have turn 1 Tinker, double Fluster Force backup. This is a Doomsday hand if I've ever seen one. Quite broken. I hope this wins. If this doesn't win, we have serious... Well, then. That's fucking annoying. That's just a little bit annoying. How did they know? They knew it would be lit. I think we can take like a million turns with Time Walk, so it probably doesn't actively do anything, just makes this take like way longer. Guess this will all target myself. I lost an Underworld Breach on that one. Do I want to just draw into this Saga? Yeah, we can win. It just gets pretty fucking hard. I don't really think I want to draw into that. I want, like, draw spells. Like a top. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, I don't think it actually matters. I think we just will win anyways, but it is kind of annoying. I think we win with Underworld Breach double Bolas Citadel activation. I don't really want to pass the turn to them. It doesn't really seem necessary. We could also just cast a million Time Walks, right? All we have to do is find our second breach. To make sure I don't mill out, I guess. All right, I found my second breach. So that should just be winning. Is there anything I can do on this turn to make things faster? I don't have a Tolarian, right? I kind of want to find... I kind of want to find... a Sapphire, which will give me extra Time Walks. I guess this is probably lethal because it's 2 Time Walks is 12 damage plus a Citadel activation. Oh, I have a Lotus. I'm fine. Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, all right. I'm going to go to my next turn, and I'm just going to cast a million Time Walks and win. I don't think there's any point in continuing to play. Are they looking at my hand? Like, what's happening here? Okay, they're just done. All right. Yeah, we cashed Time Walk, but we have an Underworld Breach. So all we need to do is untap and just play, like, 4 or 5 Time Walks. And this card actually just did nothing, which is lit. Though it's really fucking annoying. I actually don't have any way to get rid of it. I just chose to not play any hate for it. So I don't know if we should be boarding out like these Ravenous traps so that we don't get hit by them. I feel like we should still have all our targeted stuff anyways. Maybe there's like justification for putting another Saga back in. I think it's still probably worthwhile. I kind of don't hate the idea of Bifrost either. The thing is, when you can draw your entire deck, it usually doesn't matter what kind of like soft locks your opponent is putting you under. I'm gonna leave it as it is. All right, we gotta have a force, I guess, up against On the Draw versus Oops, all dispels. All right, that's not a force. It's also not a tinker, so time to mulligan. That was interesting game. So we have the mulligan in this hand. I think we probably are not allowed to keep a hand that doesn't have Force of Will or like a turn 1 tinker. I was not expecting to get Oops all spelled today, but I do think the deck is pretty powerful, so. Is Rav Trap good enough to keep? I don't know. Maybe. Probably needs some supporting pieces. I mean, I feel like if you're splashing black, you should just be playing an Underground Sea and a Demonic Tutor. Demonic Tutor is very good in Breach. I just didn't know how the mana would be with a bunch of sagas, so I chose not to splash black, but I think it's probably correct to splash at least Demonic Tutor. I actually think Demonic Tutor is better than Yogg-Will, especially when you're playing Underworld Breach. Doesn't really make sense to play Underworld Breach when you have, or it doesn't make sense to play Yogg-Will when you have Underworld Breach in your deck. My opponent mulliganed to 5. And I am probably following. Like, theoretically, this hand is fine, but it just has no turn 0 interaction. I feel like having 0 turn 0 interaction is just not acceptable. All right, what about this one, chat? Does this one count? All right, they mulled to 4. I'm going to keep this. And I'm going to bottom a land and a Preordain, and I'm going to go turn 1 Saga Sapphire Time Walk, untap, Strand Go, hold open Flooded Strand Saga. They're on 4, I'm on 5. I know my 5 doesn't interact with the turn 1 kill, but their likelihood of turn 1 killing me with 4 cards should be lower. But they could always have, you know, Lotus, Mox, stupid thing, kill me. Yeah, I don't really think it makes sense to have a Yogg-Will in your Breach deck. Like, Breach basically is Yogg-Will with more, you know, with different lines of versatility. I think if you want to splash black for Demonic Tutor, that makes a lot of sense. Maybe you include Vampiric Tutor. Maybe you only need 1 Underground Sea to do that. Maybe you just want just Demonic Tutor off of 1 Underground Sea. I don't think that's unreasonable. I just didn't do enough testing to figure out if that is the case or not. All right, 4-card hand. Let's see what they've got. No Leyline. Unlucky. Jet. Ruby. Yep, turn 1 kill. Fantastic. Oh, turn 2 kill. Sorry, I don't have a Lightning Bolt in my deck, so this is just going to kill me unless I draw Ravenous Trap. I have to draw exactly Graveyard Hate, right? That would work, yes. Got him. Yeah, I always had it, chat. Never lucky, or always lucky, never didn't have it. Yeah, all those things. There's no reason to preordain here. And then I can always get like a needle or something too, if nothing happens. Like if my opponent decides not to activate the Underworld Informer, then I can just get a needle on it and make big enough constructs to win. So my opponent should probably just go for it and lose, I would assume. If I'm the luckiest vintage player slasher and I've gone like 0-20 in my last 3 months, like vintage players should probably get luckier. No, I just surgically extract the Narcomoebas, and then they just have nothing left in their deck. I've no that was the Esper Saga deck. It was Hull Breacher. I mean, I did just as well with Stoneforge Mystic, so. Oh, they just had one Leyline, chat. They just had the singleton Leyline of Sanctity. You love to see it. Just the singleton Leyline of Sanctity. They really got us. They wanted us to board in a bunch of things to stop Leyline of Sanctity, and I didn't bite. I didn't bite. All right, no Narcomoebas for you. What's the plan, Stan? I even had Fluster backup, which is lit. It was kind of annoying. I would probably board in Leyline of Sanctity. I think it makes a lot of sense. I'm not like hating on the boarding. I think it's just kind of funny that there's only one. I don't think it was wrong by any means. All right, here we are. Round 5, Vintage Challenge versus the Karate Dome. Typically a dredge player, but has been experimenting recently. This hand looks favorable. Eep. I'm looking like Time Walk Dak Faden. Seems pretty reasonable to me. Start fueling my graveyard for my Underworld Breach. Does Dak Faden resolve? Question mark. Does. All right, activate target myself. Yup. I think I'd rather have a fetch land than these two. All right, not a bad start. We're actually protected against Hollow One. Oh, it's basic planes. Jesus, what happened to Karate? What happened to Karate? The Karate we know and love just led with basic planes. You just hate to see it. Oh boy. All right, I'm gonna pitch this and this and just play a land. And we'll hold open force. I don't think it's correct to time walk with our breach when we could just win at some point here. I'm sure they're gonna go Cavern, Human, Thalia, right? Cleric? Steal my emerald? You got it, homie. You got it. This is vintage Karate. Come on. This is vintage. You can't be doing this. I actually don't want to miss out on my last volcanic, so I'm gonna fetch it. All right, I have some breaches. Can I get a brain freeze? No, a Dragon's Rage Channeler. Okay, so if I go Dragon Rage Channeler, Underworld Breach, that's probably our best play. Just discard Force of Will, Predict, and go Dragon's Rage, Underworld Breach, Mox Pearl. Or sorry, Dragon's Rage, Mox Pearl, Underworld Breach. Yeah, this should probably be good enough. Dragon's Rage. I got misstepped. Okay, well, that's annoying, but I think I'm gonna go Pearl. I'm still gonna go Pearl, Breach, Sapphire, Time Walk. And just do another turn before they have a chance to play Hate. All right, let's try again. What if we just DAC ulti? I think DAC ulti is definitely worse than just finding brain freeze. Jeez. I just can't win. All right. I guess we can cycle this predict. I don't really want to. What if we go Underworld Breach, Dragon Rage Channeler, Predict? But then I don't have an Underworld Breach. I feel like I need this Underworld Breach to win. Maybe I just predict them naming planes. No, I'm probably supposed to predict myself in case I can hit under Brain Freeze or Brain Freeze or something like Brain Freeze. I think I just predict myself on Preordain or Saga. It doesn't matter. Kind of would rather have. I guess I'll just name Saga. All right, it was Bolus's Citadel. So we've got a whole lot of shit here. I think I'm supposed to play this and get my other island. Yeah, streamers are cheaters. If I had listened to my chat and just Cavern, Pithing Needle Cavern, we would have had a much better shot in this game. Another Cleric? Oh, a Glow Rider. Yeah, okay. I assume we just win through our Glow Rider, right? I want to draw this other island. I'm doing a lot of nothing here. All right, we found Brain Freeze. That does cost 1,000,000 mana now, though, right? I guess we just pitch it to Dak Vaden. I don't know. So we cast Underworld Breach, and then we freeze ourselves. And that cost okay, we can actually just get the mana crypt back first. We'll be fine, right? Because that's +1 mana. We can actually get back both of the Moxen first. Nope, now they have a Thalia and a Wasteland. I guess we're gonna die. Can I actually beat this? I don't think I can actually beat this. How do I win now? I went through 30 cards, which was problematic. I have a lightning bolt in my deck. I'm probably just supposed to cast an Ancestral Recall targeting myself to start here. I don't have any lands left to search, though. I think I just lose. Did I play this game really badly or something? I feel like my opponent went on Leonian Relic Warder on turn 2 and they just survived and I never got to do anything. What do I drew like 50 cards and none of them did anything. My opponent literally said, "Here, kill me," and I couldn't kill them. Like, I guess the Dragon's Rage Channeler getting Mental Misstep was pretty rough. I think the Mental Misstep was the worst thing possible for us. I think we're just dead, but I don't know. I feel like this should just be Brain Freeze, target myself. And then if I breach for... I can't ever... I need to fucking find the bolt, don't I? So get me a dig. Opponent's deck doesn't do anything, but my deck did less, which is kind of sad. All right. Dig. All right, Lightning Bolt. I think we still win if we just get Lightning Bolt, right? I guess Saga's pretty good too, but I just need to find Lightning Bolt. I couldn't find Lightning Bolt? I went 7 cards deep in my 20-card library and there was no Lightning Bolt? Fuck's sake. All right, well, I guess we'll take Saga and... I mean, how does my opponent's deck beat Saga? They have to draw another Wasteland? I guess I should have just taken double Saga. I don't think getting this Hercules now makes any sense. Oh, right. There's a Chalice on 0. Yeah. Top. Okay. Figured it out. All right, cool. So I take 6. If my opponent misses a top deck again, I just make constructs and win. Oh, they drew a top deck strip mine. All right, fair. Fair is fair. So I just time walk them with this Dragon's Rage Channeler again. I'm almost out of red sources in my deck. That could be problematic. All right, I want that. Hopefully they don't draw another... Please draw... Yes, this is exactly what I wanted. Top, play a... All right, so I think we're still fine. If they do kill my other Volcanic, though, it's pretty bad, I guess. But their deck just does nothing less than ours, which is pretty funny to me. I feel like I did play this game extremely poorly, though. Yeah, they just lose on board to flyers, which is pretty funny. Mono white is not the most playable. Oh boy. All right. So, is there anything I mean, they're just dead, right? They just die to these 3/3s. How much does it cost to time walk? Cost too much? 1, 2, 3, 4 to breach and 4 to time walk, so we're short. There's no reason for me not to just hold everything up, right? Yeah. Wow. All right. So we actually won just by finding our Dragon's Rage channelers and attacking for 3 each. Pretty funny to me. All right. I probably should have made a construct there. Whatever. I don't think it matters. Well, okay. So that was really stupid. Because I think in the beginning of this game, I played correctly in trying to combo off, but I just found actual nothing. And then I couldn't do anything, and I think I probably played pretty poorly and just like kind of floundered and didn't know what to do. But then my opponent's deck also didn't do anything. Kind of wild, actually. Okay, so we're gonna bring in lightning bolts. Those are good. Take out this fluster, take out these pyroblasts. Saga was good again there. My opponent had the strip mine for the first one as well. I think we're gonna keep this needle in for Wasteland. And I guess we'll bring in Sphinx and a Biforce, I guess. Yeah, it seems fine. Like, this mental misstep is probably not great. If it depends on which build they're on. If they're on like the not me build, there's just like no targets besides another mental misstep, right? I guess it could target like a cage out of the board or something. Or like a needle or something. I don't know. Obviously, like surgical extraction, flusterstorm, those are all garbage. Perkles, like Rab Trap, all garbage. So it's like, do I want a mental misstep or a second Biforce is like kind of the question. I don't think a Tabernacle is good at all. I don't think it's ever been good against mono white. I just don't know. I guess Misstep pitched the Force, but Force they have Cavern. I don't know how good a second Biforce is. Let's just run it back like this, I guess. All right, well, so now we're on the draw against the deck that can play turn 1 uncounterable Thalia. So that could get problematic. Like, you saw that Thalia Glow Rider was very good against me, but it turns out wasn't very good against 3/3s. This hand is no-go. This hand's good. I think we'll just pitch the Dak Fade in and keep the full amount of mana that we can keep. I don't have a mountain in my deck, which is something worth noting. I'm 100% willing to force a Lumi. Lumi is really annoying. That got mental misstepped again. Fucking hell. All right, well, maybe we'll flashback Dragon Reach Channeler with Underworld Breach. Oh god, Archon. All right, that's a good one. Archon is pretty good against everything that's not Lightning Bolt here. Urza Saga. I will entertain that idea. They're cycling. I'm gonna get my other Volcanic into play right now. That's a little bit too much, don't you think? Oh yeah, I mean that's Archon is the big reason to play a Hate Bear style deck for sure. So here we just get what, a Needle on Wasteland? Or is that even good? I mean, our constructs should be good enough to win this game, right? Swords? Oh, it's a hard cast Solitude. Okay, I definitely think I'm going to board out Mental Misstep then. Well, these draws don't really look like they're leading me to a victory here. I guess I can't Underworld Breach back a Dragon's Rage Channeler because there's an active Archon of Emeria. I think this just has to be a Sensei's top. Dragon's Rage Channeler, Merchant Scroll. That's probably worth keeping. I wonder if I should just put them. What can the Merchant Scroll actually get? I kind of want to have a force up, right? So I kind of want to draw Merchant Scroll, I guess. So I currently can block this Solitude. And I can force anything. Yeah, I think I'm willing to block. They drew Cavern, so now my force is gone. That's pretty bad for me, I would assume. So I want to draw Merchant Scroll into Ancestral on their turn? Or do I want to draw Dragon Rage Channeler? I'm not really winning this race with a Dragon Rage Channeler right now. But I do block them for one turn. It gives me a lot of time. Maybe I want to get both. It doesn't exactly buy me the kind of time I'm looking for, probably. Kind of, let's see. I can Merchant Scroll and Ancestral on their turn by fetching an island. I think I'm supposed to put a Dragon Rage Channeler in play. I can also just fetch away and look at fresh cards. I have 3 Lightning Bolts in my deck. And Lightning Bolt does change this game fairly dramatically. I think I'm gonna, maybe this is bad, but I'm gonna fetch away here. I don't feel like Merchant Scroll is my answer. Well, Saga isn't terrible. These other cards definitely are, though. So I'm definitely gonna still lose this race, right? I take 4 and go to 7, and then I'm taking 2 each time. All right. They have a non-human. All right, definitely forcing that. Oh, that costs 6, right? Okay, so I will. I don't want to mill away my top. How can I get to this needle? I need to spin before. I can mill away this breach though, right? So what I need to do is I need to activate, hold priority, draw, force. No, I need to. I don't think I can get at a thing. I'll just rearrange it after to draw needle instead of top, probably. Activate this, hold priority, draw. Yeah, I can let this resolve. And I can go needle top, or I can go breach top, needle breach, and then force this. It does make the clock 1 turn faster, but and I can bin this, and I will draw the needle for wasteland. And I guess if they have a wasteland, they've already drawn it, I'm gonna lose because I didn't put the top underneath. I feel like I'm supposed to just get rid of the top. All right, so I've got the Glow Rider locked down for a turn, and I'm going to start making a clock. I don't think the clock currently races, because I'm taking 3 hits and dying. Oh. So I do think I will probably still need to draw Lightning Bolt. I don't know. I might have to draw another Dragon Rage Channeler is the key. I think the key to winning this game is to draw like Dragon Rage Channeler, Light, or I only have 1, so Dragon Rage Channeler into Lightning Bolt maybe? Or like a Time Walk or something. Predict. I don't think I have outs. Probably wasn't actually allowed to make that construct. Well, if I get a Black Lotus here, and I go predict and try to draw into a Lightning Bolt. Yeah, I don't have a Time Walk in my deck. This is true. So if I predict on my turn and then draw into Lightning Bolt for their turn, and that is how I can win. That's not unreasonable. No, I'm going to name myself so I can draw 2 cards. Yeah, I mean, this is... I can't breach back anything, chat. Yeah, chat is got, yeah, breach is a strong play from chat here. Sorry, Sliphorn. All right, so I leave this on top, and then I get to draw 2 blanks into bolt. Top, predict, ancestral, recall, lightning bolt. Fuck me, I'm so unlucky. 24 cards, no lightning bolts, unlucky. I do think lightning bolt just wins the game here. I don't actually have it. So sad. I mean, I played really well in that game, I believe. Karate's not happy with the bait. Yeah, unlucky. All right, I'm gonna get this misstep out of my deck, and I'll just play a Biforce, I guess. Yeah, great. That was sad. I think we played that game really, really well and had a pretty good chance of winning. It was a pretty close game. The misstep on my first Dragon Rage channeler was just so good. All right, let's see what opponents got on turn 1 here. Wasteland, fair. Can't do much about that. Oh, God. Oh, no. Saga. Would I rather... I think I'd rather play Saga because I can't bolt a Thalia anyways. But then I'm not going to get a value. No, I just want to play this lightning bolt. My cards are not very good, though. Predict, Dig Through Time, and Dak are definitely cards I don't want to see in this matchup, so I'm a little worried. Is it a Thalia, or is it something else? Mana Crypt. Okay. Okay. Oh, I have 5 minutes on my clock? When did that happen? Guess I'll play faster. That's a card type. Predict has been extremely good today. This is just another stupid channel, stupid Archon, or oh, it's a Thalia. Thalia and Archon? All right. Well, opponent, why you gotta be like this? I'm so dead. Should I brainstorm for a land? Probably. I guess I can preordain for a land is better because it's gonna automatically get me a 3/3. I think hitting a land is like really important here. Oh boy. Yeah, I mean, I'm not beating this draw from my opponent. My opponent had too good of a draw here. This is basically the best possible draw for them. Besides not having a cavern, but I didn't have a force, so it didn't actually matter. I don't know how I can remotely ever win this game, right? There's just no shot. if I draw Bolt. Am I? Maybe if I got Lotus and drew Bolt and killed Archon and then... Yeah, I guess I should have gotten Lotus. Yeah, I guess if I... Jesus Christ. He just doesn't have... He doesn't ever miss. I wanted to have something that stayed in play so that my construct would be bigger than their board. I have to Bolt the Archon before I can do any flashing back chat. Oh, I should probably... Yeah, all right. I cast a spell this turn. On this next turn, I dig. If I dig into a Bolt, then I Bolt Archon on my turn and then try to Breach Bolt or something. I mean, my opponent's drawing 2 cards a turn. I'm sure they're just, like, going to play a Solitude here. Or that, I guess. Now I can't... Oh, they should have put this on the Archon so that I couldn't Bolt the Archon. I think this attack is much worse than whatever... Yeah, they misplayed there. That was not very good. If they just put it on the Archon, I can't win. I guess they could lose a flip and die. I didn't find a Bolt. I found a Time Walk. How big can I make this? Oh, I can't play Time Walk and Emerald, so they just double block. I guess I can just grab this Preordain and try to find Lightning Bolt and hope they miss. And then I'll grab... Saga Time Walk doesn't seem good. Because I can't actually attack. I think I'm supposed to grab Preordain and... I don't know. I think I'm supposed to just try to YOLO a Bolt. I won the flip. That unfortunately is not castable. I have 2 more bolts in my deck. All right, I found a bolt. Fuck! I don't think that lets you exile your own creature. Oh, it does. Yeah, they should probably exile their own creature. That's so sad. Maybe they'll tap this. Uh, 3/5, it's enough, huh? I thought Karate didn't play that great, but oh well. Yeah, that's sad. I like the way we played it there to find a lightning bolt and kill our opponent if they lose a flip. Like, their hate bear draw was really, really strong. So it was going to be hard for us no matter what. Man, we were 50-50 to win that game, so... Oh, unfortunate. Alright, let's go. We're just going to keep battling here. We're already in round 6 of 7, so we might as well see if we can learn a thing or two and battle out the rest. Also, I'm very low on play points because I've been losing a lot. So let's just continue here. My opponent revealed Luris of the Dream Den, which either means Breach, a random control deck, or another mono white gamer. Survey says could be any of them because this is not a vintage player. I'm just gonna keep this hand. It seems pretty reasonable. I have, you know, lands, spells, counters. I think I'm gonna keep an island, but I don't think I want a Force of Will. Maybe an island is silly. I think there's like if I'm playing against White Weenie, I want this island. If I'm playing against, yeah, okay. So against White Weenie, I think I would rather have another land in case they like do some taxing stuff. I probably should keep Time Walk. But if I exile Brain Freeze, I can't win that way, which I guess I don't need to win that way, so I'm gonna keep Time Walk. I'm looking for like Urza's Saga Time Walk here. Never didn't have it, chat. It's good because I've drawn both of my Pyroblasts. Hope I don't get Wastelanded. Or Ghost Quartered. Both of those are bad for me. Play to your outs or something. Sure. Mother of Runes. You got it, homie. Still don't know if I'm winning this game per se. I drew Breach, so I can't Brain Freeze them. That's kind of sad. I would have had a Breach kill here. I would have just gotten Black Lotus, Brain Freeze them, and killed them. I don't think I'm supposed to get Black Lotus now. I think I'm supposed to get either like Needle for Wasteland or a top to try to find action. I think a top to find action makes the most sense, seeing as I have no action. I'm down to attack here. If you want to trade, you can trade. If not, it's fine. I don't know. I don't really think I'm winning this game currently. I'm not thrilled about the current state of the board. At least my opponent can't Archon me. I did get Kataki'd though. Alright, I do wish I had not exiled this Brain Freeze. I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought the Construct line would be a good line, but once again, Saga has punished me. I needed to go for the Brain Freeze line. Because I'm just gonna die, right? Like, what is my plan here? Do I even have a plan? What are plans? Alright, so if I pay for 2 constructs and I draw... I pay for 3 constructs... If I draw with my top and I pay for 2 constructs, I redraw my top and I play a fetch land, I guess it's fine. I'm not thrilled by this happenings. I can never kill anything anyways, so I don't think I can win this game. I exiled my Brain Freeze. I can't really win on the ground. My opponent can just bring things back to their hand, or if I drew the Lightning Bolt, it doesn't really work out for me. I don't think I'm winning this game. I guess I could still Citadel them. So I should play to Tinker. Oh, you have a plow as well, and I have both of my islands in play? Well, at least I don't have to keep paying for this construct, so that kind of worked out. Another Saga and a bunch of lands. All right, well, I'm not unhappy to have these go away, I guess. I will shuffle. Okay, so my constructs are gone. I just thought that with Tinker and Dragon Rage Channeler, I didn't have to play so many shitty cards like Third Underworld Reach or Second Brain Freeze. Like, I objectively think those cards are not very good. I would rather, but I also think that if I want to play 2-in-1, I have to play Demonic Tutor. So, I mean, I had the combo, I just chose to get rid of it. I thought that Saga would be a better choice, but it turned out Saga was a worse choice because my opponent registered Kataki. Like, I think in general, Saga should beat this, but not exactly. Not against Kataki. Maybe it would still beat Kataki, but I don't know. I don't know. I think we're just dead for this game 1, though. I guess I'll just... I don't know. I mean, I did draw double Pyroblast against Mono White again, so not ideal. I found Tinker, but I just am going to take too much damage, right? So I take another... Yeah, I just take too much damage. All right, all right. I don't think I played badly. Maybe I did. Maybe I should have played around my opponent has Katakis in their main deck because that is the kind of deck they're playing. And I shouldn't have exiled my card. I could see that being true. It's pretty hard to beat Mono White if I draw double Pyroblast, though. Really don't feel like this should be a big deal. I might have been too slow if I had gone for Saga with no Time Walk to get Breach, Brain Freeze, Lotus. But it's not like they played actual Hate Bears. They played Mother of Runes, Lumi, and then Kataki, right? So if they had played if they had played Thalia, then it's obviously much worse to go for a combo. Feel like I don't know. I didn't feel like I wanted 3 Breach, 2 Brain Freeze when I had so many Sagas and Tinker Citadel and Channeler. It just felt pretty unnecessary. There's obviously the downside to it being your only blue card in hand. It wasn't my only blue card, but the card I chose to pitch. All right, so I'm going to go Saga Pearl go, and then I can make a thing, and I can bowl, and it'll be fun. Yeah, you have to have enough. Jesus Christ. Okay, sure. Yep. Oh, okay, sure. If I lose twice to mono white, I don't know about this deck. Sure. I just think Kataki is such a bad card. You wouldn't catch me dead registering Kataki in 2021. Like, I'm not even gonna bother with it. I'm just gonna preordain. Yup. Maybe I'm supposed to keep that Force of Will because I know they don't play Cavern because the deck is oddly constructed. Still seems weird though. Okay. Ah, yes, another Lotus Petal. I think I'll just kill the Kataki. It's fine. I get an extra mana on my turn. I can always flashback like Bolt and Ancestral off of Breach and stuff like that. Seems like the power level that we're playing on in comparison to each other's decks is just so not even close. Like I think I'm just gonna value Breach here and Bolt Ancestrals. Never mind. I'm just gonna, I don't know, cast another Ancestral for fun, maybe. Yeah, let's cast another Ancestral for fun. The worst that could happen. Sure. Let's bolt this and then just pitch this dig through time. I guess one of these predicts is probably worse than the dig through time. That's pretty funny. Well, I'm gonna probably... Okay, well, never mind. I was gonna say I didn't have a force, huh? Okay, yeah, you got me. Maybe I should have looked for a force. I don't know. Yes, the force. Dig. I don't really feel like I need to dig yet. I feel like we want to just preordain and time walk and I don't know. Yeah, those are good cards. Did I play a land already? I did. Well, that was probably stupid of me. I guess I should not have played a land already. So let's just do Time Walk and Dragon's Rage. I don't really think so. I don't really see a super compelling reason to do that. Kind of want to start clocking them. They can't actually beat this Dragon Rage channeler, so I'd rather just get the clock going. I also turns my predict into a draw 2. Maybe it's like losing enough value that it's not worth it, but sure, Dak. I like this predict tech. I think this is pretty good. Are you on 4 Dragon Rage Channeler? I kind of think it's insane. It's been very, very strong all day. All right, so I have Force, Dig Through Time, and Lightning Bolt, and my Saga can't be wastelanded, so I'm in pretty good shape. Yeah, I think 4 is the correct number, actually. I thought I would not want as many as, I didn't think I'd want 4, but... Bottom... Another Saga, and another Force, I guess? Oh, I just got rid of my Delirium. Probably not the strongest play I've ever made. I'm so bad at this game. I wasn't even thinking about it, to be perfectly honest. I just like did the normal thing where you get rid of the weird stuff, but I'm not actually supposed to do that. I mean, I don't want to actually get rid of any of these though, so. I should definitely not have exiled the cards I chose to exile. I have done that actually 0 times, not me. I've won very, very, very few games with Underworld Breach. I've just won most of my games with Dragon Rage Channelers, actually. I don't know why. Like, I won a game with Brain Freeze against Doomsday. I won, like, it was kind of an odd one. Oh, I'm so stupid. Yeah, I just don't, I don't know. I kind of don't feel like the combo is, like, super good. I kind of want to, like, backdoor into the combo or something, or have them overboard for the combo, or... I don't exactly like the way I configured my deck, to be perfectly honest, so... There's probably a lot of room to work with. I kind of want to play, like, 4 Dragon Rage Channeler, 3 Predict, though. That's been so good. But, like, when you play that much card draw, you kind of want to play some negations. It's hard to fit in all the things that I want to fit in. I think I'm allowed to keep this. Oh, let's try. Well, I mean, I looked at your list, but it wasn't really what I wanted. I don't know. I wanted to have... I don't know. It's hard to fit in all the things I want to do. Oh, yeah. I think that Predict is, like, way, 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 way better than Expressive Iteration. That's an easy one. I think Predict Channeler is super sweet. All right, so shall we do the unthinkable and just the Dak faded on turn 1? Massive 2-for-1 myself. I think I'm supposed to fetch a basic island. Too late. I don't think I'm casting Preordain because I'm thinking I'm pitching Preordain to Force of Will, but I could be wrong. I kind of want to find like Dragon Rage Channeler more than anything else. Okay. But like my opponent doesn't play Cavern of Souls, so I can just counter their next 2 plays as I fill my graveyard and then breach kill them. I guess I do have to draw my Brain Freeze, but I don't really have to draw my Brain Freeze. I just kind of have to like have a Dragon Rage Channeler, right? Interesting. Yeah, we don't need an Narset. I mean, opponent had to mull pretty heavily. Probably just like 2 drops. That's what I wanted to see. Who's the weenie deck now? Wasteland. Are you gonna play a 2-drop? Or are you gonna wasteland my red source? Kind of a hard. Oh no, Thalia. All right. No Thalia. We're just looking for a Brain Freeze. I feel like keeping Lightning Bolt is also good though. Maybe I'm just supposed to go for an Underworld Breach, and I'm just supposed to put the bolt in my yard and just go Breach, Blue, Breach, Lotus, Narset, or something. Alright, yeah, my opponent's done. Fair enough. I think I probably don't keep the Lightning Bolt, and I'm just supposed to go on my turn Breach, Lotus, Narset, because I'm going to just mill a bunch of cards anyways. Probably. So I would draw a bolt. Well, let's say I milled the bolt. I would draw a Saga. I would breach, and I would reveal land, which I would put away into my yard, and then I would cast Lotus, and I would mill a probe, and I would cast Narset, and I would mill an island, and then I would activate Narset. I would hit a top. I mean, it might be just enough value to win anyways, but I guess I have to be careful. Maybe I should do that after attacking so that I don't get Delirium removed again. Either way, pretty interesting. All right, here we are in the 7th and final round of this Vintage Challenge. Let's see. Oh yeah, Yama's a funny guy. This is an interesting hand. I'm definitely gonna keep. The question becomes, are we playing Saga Soul Ring Ta? Yama said he's not streaming, so he's at a disadvantage. So it should be fine for him to stream snipe us. Oh man. All the memers in chat today. In the Magic Online chat, not even in my chat. Alright, I'm thinking Soul Ring. I'm thinking Saga Soul Ring. Sensei's Top is the line here. And then we can play Dragon Rage Channeler next turn and still be able to activate our Saga. Force, Brain Freeze. Okay, I think we'll do that. We don't have a Force available for this turn, but we'll have a Force available for next turn, and then we'll have Brain Freeze as well, and we'll have Lotus off of Saga, so it's viable. It's viable. Okay. Dragon, Dreadhorde Arcanist, Ragavan. Okay. Interesting deck choice. We do have a 3/3 Construct and a Dragon Rage Channeler, and we can draw into force if we need it. So we shouldn't get hit by this Ragavan. Dak Fade in? Steel Soul Ring? No. Dak Fade in? Oh, Narset. Okay, yeah, your Narset resolves. I wonder if I was supposed to have Brain Freeze second underneath this Force of Will so that... Okay, I'm gonna lose. I'm gonna have to force this anyways. The problem with this is that... Oh, I can... So I could draw into this and force it, and then they attack and Ancestral again. That will resolve. I will get a 2/2 and a 1/3, and I can only block... I wonder if I screwed up by not drawing into the Brain Freeze. I guess I theoretically could just not make a construct off of this, and instead use it to spin in my upkeep to draw the Brain Freeze. But my opponent is about to draw 6 cards. Alright, I'm gonna let this happen. Certainly a strong draw from Yama here. Will you trade your Dreadhorde Arcanist for 3 cards? No. Interesting. So the question does become, are we supposed to... I guess I could just lose my top, right? Actually, that's way, way better, right? So I can draw the Force, draw into the Brain Freeze, get a Black Lotus, and then go for Brain Freeze, kill... Oh, no, I can't do that because the stupid fucking Narset. Ooh, I'm glad I didn't try to do that. I am very glad I did not try to do that. All right, I think I'm just going to ignore the Brain Freeze then. Well, I could spin into this Brain Freeze. Yeah, where's the hell's my chat to tell me not to do things? God damn it, chat. All right, I'm going to take this Brain Freeze, and then I'm going to activate my Saga, and then I'm going to get a Black Lotus. Oh, this doesn't let me combo this turn. I guess it's still fine, though. I think I'll just swing at this Narset. Yeah, I'm not unhappy with the way I played it. It was just really, really awkward. I think what I'm really unhappy with is I probably should have ordered it differently in the very beginning. Because I do want to cast Breach, Brain Freeze with Force back up here. But if I had... Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. So I just need to spin into a blue card and go for it next turn. I should have an opportunity to do so. Swords to Plowshares. That's not good. Because now they swords my construct. Oh. Alright. I think I just bin top? I need cards. Do I need cards? I just bin this top. This does make my Dragon... Yeah, binning top makes my Dragon Rage Channeler a fucking 3/3 because Urza's Saga is an enchantment land. Oh my god, that's incredible. Spinning top gives me artifact, enchantment, land, instant, which means my opponent can't swords and attack and ancestral and have Dreadhorde Arcanist live. What the fuck was that? That was insane. That was so crazy. I don't have a force anymore for like opponent having a force of will, but oh well. I still have like a pretty active board. They could just go swords construct, swords dragon rage channeler though, if they wanted to. Does mean they aren't ancestraling, so. I think that this deck has some potential, not me. I think this deck has some potential. Are they going to ancestral or are they going to swords? They're going to swords the dragon rage channeler. Fair. Fair is fair. So let's just play the jet and attack this Narset and then see if we win the game. They have to have force, which is not exactly... They did have force. So the downside of the way I tapped, which was fucking terrible, is I now have to activate the Saga or lose my... Yeah, I should have used this jet. I was really stupid. All right, well, I was dumb. What can I say? Ancestral, they have to hit a removal spell, or just, you know, they have 5 cards in hand. I do still have 10 power on board and another construct coming, so it's possible. This is a dig through time. Okay. I don't think this is going well for us. They just have to find a swords on this dig through time. I kind of think I played not great. But it's not over. I don't have anything good to get off this Saga. Do I know the cards? Should I have been brain freezing myself? Do I know what my next card is? It's a Mox, right? I'm supposed to brain freeze myself? Fuck. Alright, I got to kill the Dreadhorde Arcanist. Alright, I'm gonna brain freeze myself in my upkeep, I guess. I kind of forgot to do so, and I kind of have to. This is a Mentor? Mentor is pretty good against me here. Yeah, that's a problem. That's a problem for sure. Will this make my... No, my construct should be big enough as it is, right? I don't lose out too bad. I'm going to just build myself. This does give my opponent an opportunity to like Pyroblast on this turn or something. That could happen. They could also negate it. What's up, Ryan? Still drew a land. Should we needle Dak? Guess we should needle Dak. Yeah, Yamo's typing in chat. He has no idea what the fuck is happening with my deck. I guess it's fair. I don't know. Oh, yeah. I think I probably would Pyroblast the Brain Freeze. If you can reasonably conclude that I don't want the top of my deck. I didn't end up drawing a card I actually wanted on the top of my deck, but I don't think I'm actually beating a Mentor here, unfortunately. It's just like I'm gonna get out Jeskai. I'm gonna get out Xeroxed here. The only real way I win, I think, is if I draw a Breach before they draw a Force. My opponent had like a very, very, very high roll Jeskai draw, so it was always going to be quite challenging to be able to beat it. We almost pulled it off, though. I still probably on one outer as for just Breach, and they don't have a Force. Probably it. But we've already played against Jeskai once. The matchup seems pretty favorable. Mentor is like the only good card in the Jeskai deck, so I guess Ancestral as well. It's unfortunate that I don't have a Manifold Key. But, yeah. Breach? Misstep. Alright. So... that was a sad one. Let's bring in Blast, Soul Guide, Bolt, Fluster. And take out... Island, Farkles. Needle, and... I think it's 15 minutes. I guess only... I kind of want all the bolts. Maybe Mana Crypt. Maybe Mana Crypt's bad. Oh, I just submitted 61. What do I do? All of my other cards are good, though. I have no idea. I'll just play... I took 61 and I took out a land. It's probably not the best. I should probably just take out Tinker Blightsteel. Oh, well. Or Tinker Citadel. We'll just play 61, whatever. Is this an actually keepable hand in Vintage Magic the Gathering? Kind of seems like it is. I can just go blast their Preordain and then Saga Time Walk. Seems fine. It's not great, but... oh god, are we playing turn? Okay, no, I'm still blasting your Preordain. You can't stop me. Just firing. Yeah, that's where we're at in life. Interesting. I think the Lantern was quite good in the first time we played against Jeskai, so I'm willing to go down again. Willing to get down. All right, Brainstorm. I wish I could Pyroblast it. Sad day. All right. That was such a sad game one. Oh well. See if we can win 2 and 3. I feel like these matchups are pretty close. It's pretty draw dependent. So if they make a Dreadhorde here, I am just going to... ugh. They also time walked. Dreadhorde? Oh, Dak fade in. Sure. Killing my Lotus. Interesting. I kind of feel like they have a swords, and I'm gonna have to end up bolting this deck in the end. But I probably should make them have it first. I don't know. Should I just bolt this deck? No, it's round 7. We're only 4-2. We're not going to make top 8 even if we win. Very unlikely. I feel like the way they're representing this is they have a swords for my dude. It's not exactly a good use of mana to... Yeah, I'm going to just let this happen. I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'll make them have it first, and then if they do have it, then we can bolt the DAC and just like play a Soul Guide Lantern or something off of my Saga. Yeah. Okay. Maybe. Hmm. Yeah, I think this just gets Soul Guide Lantern, and I'll just get rid of the Time Walk. I guess I could get a different card. Hmm. I could get like a mana producing card. A ruby or a sapphire. Maybe I don't need a Soul Guide Lantern. The only thing I need a Soul Guide Lantern for is like if I wanted to take their whole graveyard out right now so they couldn't dig through time. I think if we just take a top because we drew our predict is kind of where I'm at in life. I do think I have to bolt this Stack Fade in though. If they have a Delve spell. Yep, they did have a Delve spell. So I could have played around this by cracking a Soul Guide Lantern. It was definitely on my radar of things I wanted to do. I don't know. I kind of wish I had, but... Ruby... I think I'm just gonna pass and we'll look to do a predict play. Okay, you see my hand. Is it a good idea to open? I don't know. You can go find the EV somewhere and then compare it to how much it sells for? Sure, that exists somewhere on GoBots. I mean, they can pull a Ragavan. uh... I don't know what we can do. It's just ancestral, yeah. They have a land, right? Is it even worth it for us to just go? Is it worth it for us to predict into blue card force? I mean, it's probably worth it for us to do that no matter what, but I don't even know if it's worth it for us to actually counter it, though, right? We have the ability to try to go off next turn somehow. I just have Pyroblast. I see. Oh, uh-oh. So should we just try to do a bunch of time walking? Is that the new line? So we order this so that we draw Preordain, and then we can draw into Force of Will, and then we just cast Time Walk. I can't even double Time Walk. I guess we could draw and then cast Predict and predict away like a Preordain or a Sapphire or a Top. What if we went Time Walk Bolt? It's not exactly close enough. We're close to tempoing our opponent out of this game. We're very close to doing so. I wonder if we're supposed to draw this Sapphire to make it a 4/4. I think we try to resolve the Underworld Breach first. And if it resolves, then I don't know. I'm pretty sure we have to cast Underworld Breach this turn. If this gets negated and we draw into Force, and then we've got Time Walk, we could predict. I don't know. Let's try it. Oh, fuck. They just have Force and Blast. Guess I should have attacked as a 3/3. All right, well, it's pretty bad for me. Can't say that we have a very good chance of winning this game. Feel like, oh god, yeah, sure. I feel like my opponent just did the Xerox thing and I had no chance. I don't know. I have to find another breach, I guess. Sapphire Citadel. No good. I don't know if I could have done anything differently in this one, though. I feel like we played to what we had, and our opponent just had way stronger magic cards than we did. They're just gonna cast like 10 Ancestrals and we can't ever win. I can't even draw into a new card this turn, so I'm just straight dead, right? Even if I draw Underworld Breach, yeah, we're dead. That was like pretty disgusting. I don't think we had much chance there. Just the high roll. Hopefully we top 32, but not sure we will. Be close. All right, post challenge analysis. Deck seemed like it had something going for it. Let's see. Feel like there was something happening here. I definitely like the idea of having another Dragon Rage channeler. Yeah, you definitely had more powerful draws than I did. This is true. So I think if we I don't really want to play third Underworld Breach, second Brain Freeze though. I don't want to do that. Maybe we're just supposed to cut a Saga. Maybe 4 is too many Saga. Maybe 4 is too many Saga. I definitely had a lot of games today where I wish I had 2 main deck Lightning Bolts, but I'm not really sure where I can actually fit those. I probably would have to cut a Predict or a Hercules. I didn't end up playing versus a Golos deck at all, so the Hercules was dead for the most part, but I think it's important because I don't think this deck plays very well against Golos. Yeah, it costs a lot to put in a key in a time vault. Like those are not, you know, I'm struggling to find slots as it is. If I had 4 Sagas, then maybe Key Vault is fine. I don't know. I just felt like the Predict was a very, very strong part of the deck, and I didn't really want... Like, that's the place where I can cut, right? Is Predict. Doesn't really seem like I want to do that. There's definitely something here, though. I thought that the Dragon Rage Channeler Predict interaction looked really good, and as well as just, like, Dragon Rage Channeler in general looked pretty good. We never cast a single... No, we cast exactly 1 Tinker Citadel in 7 rounds, so going 4-3 and casting 1 Tinker is probably not something to be unhappy about. Also, the win through the ley line was pretty dope. I don't think I want to change too much more. Maybe like I could get another sideboard slot, but no, I think you need the dig through time. I think the dig through time is pretty important. I would keep it. Well, I think you could theoretically play a Underground Sea or a Tundra and play Mentor or Demonic Tutor. I don't think that's unreasonable. I just like didn't want a third island that didn't cast Dragon Rage Channeler. But I don't think it's unreasonable to play like a DT in this deck. You probably just like cut a Predict, cut a Volcanic, and play a DT. I'm not really a Breach player, so I'm kind of leave that up to the Breach players.
I am act winning.
Oh, the OG. What is up, my friend? 33 months, currently in the lead. Much appreciated. Hope you're doing well. That is a leading number if I've ever seen one. So like I think this is a pretty easy change, Yama, if you wanted to add a different powerful card into your deck. I don't know if it's necessary. I don't know if it's needed. You might want to put a Lotus Petal in your deck if you do that. This deck is really tight on slots. It just doesn't feel like there's a lot of room to do all the things that I want to do. I do feel like Saga was very good today in specifically this deck. Having the ability to play like a Saga beatdown plan when your opponent is going to bring in Breach Hate seems really good. Because I've always historically been unimpressed with Breach because it was such a singular game plan. And it was like really easy to hate out in my opinion. But having Saga does, like, this is the kind of deck you want Saga in, where it's actually giving you a new avenue to attack. I mean, I don't know if Mentor is like very necessary, and the reason for that is because you already have Saga. Like, the whole reason you want Mentor is so that you actually can win a game with your Breach deck when you get leylined. But Saga already does that. So these are definitely different takes, right? You can play black, you can play white, you can play just blue-red. you can probably, I mean, we played 4 Sagas today, and it was at sometimes overwhelming, but sometimes we did want 4 Saga. The fact that Saga is a different avenue of attack and get you your Breach combo piece and cast Bolas' Citadel is like, I think this is one of the best blue Saga decks that I've played, because I felt that Saga was a liability in the decks that are already like super all in on artifacts, where this deck doesn't care as much if you get like Collector Roofed. And it's 2 types for Dragon Rage Channelers. That definitely came up exactly once. It was pretty important the time it did come up against Yama, though, because then it could block the Arcanist, which was pretty sick. So yeah, I'm probably not gonna play this deck too much more. I'm gonna let the Breach players do that. Like, I'm gonna have Dingless try it, have Kane try it, have Not Me try it, and whoever else wants to try it, and let them iterate on it. It's not really my preferred kind of combo deck, but I might play it again if I think it's better positioned than we have the mana traders at the end of the month, and right now I'm looking at Dress Down PO. I was pretty happy with my testing with Dress Down PO, but if I find that doesn't actually work out very well, if people are playing all these Jeskai decks and all these Breach decks, then maybe it's maybe I should join in. So we'll see. If you're watching this on YouTube, thanks for staying till the very end. It was a very long, should be a pretty long episode or video or whatever you want to call it, so I appreciate it. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe to grow the channel, appease the algorithm overlords. If you made it all the way to the end, put Dragon Rage Channeler is Bay in chat. Now, no one's going to do that. No one will do that, Justin. No one will put a comment saying Dragon Rage Channeler is Bay in chat. It's too embarrassing. Well, it will never happen.